everyone! Today I'm going to show you a beautiful island in South Australia called Kangaroo Island. Are there any kangaroos in the island? Yes, there are! And you can even see some on the road on the way to the ferry. At the Kangaroo Island Sculpture Trail, BYO sculpture. There aren't any sculptures here. I've walked a lot and I couldn't find any. Oh, okay. Well, that's pretty. Yes, that's nice. Still not a sculpture though. One sculpture! There it is! This is the one sculpture in the Kangaroo Island Sculpture Trail. Check it out! Alright, the trail itself is a sculpture. And they're gonna put more sculptures in at some point. So yes, feel free to visit in the future when they actually have sculptures in the sculpture trail. It did have quite a few of those poems engraved in iron along the trail. Maybe it should be called the Poem Trail.
Then there's another trail that you can do by the sea. It's very nearby. It takes only 5 minutes to do, and it has stunning sights.
And after that, there was no one around, so I decided to just chill on the beach.
What's best to do in a desert beach at golden hour with a tripod and a camera other than trying those epic photos? Look at this. This one was my first try. I swear, I tried to do it again because if you notice, the little cord of my hoodie is just contouring my nose, but I could never repeat that pose again. And what a better way to end a very nice day on an island, surrounded by nature, by the sea, at sunset, other than enjoying a nice glass of South Australian wine. What would be more perfect than a dolphin photobombed the picture? Well, if you look closely, maybe you're gonna see one, because I saw so many fins at the sea when I was looking at it.
On day 2, I gave in and I rented a car. First stop, Bowdoin Beach.
Bowdoin? I have no idea how Australian people pronounce this.
It's quite off the beaten track. It's not that it's hidden, it's very easy access. But you're not gonna see any tour buses around.
It's a beautiful little gem, and I found this doggo!
After that I went to Brown Beach, really unimpressive, so I didn't take any pictures. And then I arrived in paradise, Pennington Bay. This is gorgeous. Had it not been so cloudy, I would have dropped all the plans that I had for the day and I would have just stayed there till the end. And this is another reason why you should bring a van so that you can enjoy the island in your own pace. Next stop, Seal Bay. Just take a deep breath and enjoy the view. The first thing that I noticed as soon as I arrived in Seal Bay was this. This skeleton belonged to a baby whale who got stranded here back in the day. Totally reminds me of a Simpsons episode.
But it can't be an angel!
But yes, what I really love about this island is that the animals are there in their natural habitat. This is not a zoo-like situation, this is the real thing. This is like a nursery place for seals and sea lions, where they foster their younglings, they teach them how to fish, and this is also a resting place for them. Those seals are tired. They're not laying down because they're lazy. They've been hunting at sea for 2 to 3 days in a row, so it's very understandable that now they only want to chill. Oh my god, did this one just wave at me? This vegetated swale zone provides shelter for exhausted Australian sea lions after they return from long feeding excursions at sea. And they made tracks through the swales and tunnel under the bushes. Ah, look at it! Then I went to Hanson Bay. The bay per se is pretty, with some vegetation molded by the wind, But again, too cloudy and cold for enjoying a swim, so I just moved on.
Now, I did drive all the way to Flinders Chase National Park, but I arrived there at 4:30 p.m. and this is the thing. You need 2 hours to drive all the way to and enjoy the 2 attractions that are further in the park. So by the time I would have finished seeing it, it would be 6:30, which would have meant I would have had to cross the whole island back to Penashaw, back to the hostel during sunset and at night, which is the prime time hour for wildlife on the road. So in a lot of frustration, I just went back without seeing this on day 2. I vowed to get back there at some point during that trip.
Oh man, it's rainy, it's gray, it's been the perfect day to spend the whole day inside the car, which is what I did. And now that the sun is setting, even if there's no apparent sun, it's getting closer to kangaroo time. So we need to go back home before we hit a kangaroo, because the kangaroos are all gonna come to the road and we don't want that. We don't wanna hit one. So let's go back.
My car until 12 p.m., which is when I had to return it, so I decided to take a short trip to Cape Willoughby. The views on the way there are very pretty. And I could see heaps of kangaroos on daylight.
Right in front of the ocean, ready to get my fish and chips from the most famous fish and chips place in the island. Look at the queue. Look at the queue. Look, people are all waiting to get their... Oh, these people have gotten their fish already. Look at this. So I'm looking forward to try mine. A lot of salt flakes, so it's a bit salty. Look at this, look at the view fresh from that ocean, but it is delicious. It's very good.
I have to confess, I took a tour bus. We visited a bee farm, a honey farm on the way. We didn't see any bees, but we were taken to the visitor shop so we could try some of those honey delights, like honey ice cream, for instance, or honey beer.
Eating this awesome honey ice cream. Yum, 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 so good. This beautiful place is Vivon Bay. I just had a very awkward DSLR selfie. And now we need to run back to the bus. Yeah, there's another bus. Back to Hanson Bay. Not the actual bay that I had already visited in day 2, but in a wildlife sanctuary full of koalas. And this is not a quote-unquote sanctuary, this is the real thing. Which means that every koala there is free to roam about and it's in their own house. No koala is being held captive just for the selfie with the tourists, being kept awake outside of their awake hours. And that's proof, look at them, so many koalas were sleeping. It's actually very impressive that they can balance in that very thin branch while they sleep. Here's an interesting curiosity. Back in the day, to prevent koala extinction, 18 koalas were introduced in the island, and they loved it. They didn't have any natural predators, they loved the leaves, so they started reproducing, and nowadays the island has 50,000 koalas, and none of them has chlamydia.
Finally, Flinders Chase National Park, with plenty of time to explore all the wonders that await on the other side by the coast.
Now this amazing view, these amazing sights here, these are the remarkable rocks. They are very remarkable, look at this. They were magma, they were lava. How beautiful is this? I'm just like, I'm freaking out. This is amazing. Admiral's Arch, which is beautiful, and if you can see, there's a lot of seals here. There are seals bathing just there, and now there's seals here. It's so cute. Whee! Swimming pool! Look at the baby seal eating. It's time to say goodbye to this beautiful part of the island and go back to the visitor center. And these are some of the paintings that illustrate the Aboriginal legend of Kangaroo Island, which is believed to be the land of the dead. Last drink, so you're gonna be like forever. Hey, Ben and Francisco. How amazing was that? Was because most of the sun has already set, and it was all pink and it was all gorgeous, and I love Australia. Goodbye Kangaroo Island, you've been amazing. Look at this, the sun is setting, there's the one last piece of pink there that kind of looks like a kangaroo, which is very thematic. I hope you have enjoyed this video. Like, comment, subscribe. I plan to do more videos about other places where I've been. I have no idea when this is gonna happen, but hey, you should be notified, right? So yeah, I'll see you around the world.